There once lived a young monk named Ari. Ari lived in a quiet monastery near a river, surrounded by trees, birds, and soft hills. His days were simple. Every morning he woke up early. He swept the courtyard. He watered the plants. And every day he carried a wooden bucket to the river to bring water back to the monastery. Ari tried his best to do everything perfectly. But one thing bothered him. Whenever something went wrong, Ari felt upset very quickly. If the sun was too hot, he complained. If the path was muddy, he sighed. If his work took longer than expected, he felt angry inside. He believed that everything had to go right for him to feel happy. One afternoon, Ari walked toward the river with his bucket. The path was narrow and rocky. Birds were chirping. The water sparkled in the sunlight. Ari filled the bucket carefully and started walking back. But suddenly, his foot slipped on a smooth stone. Splash! The bucket fell. The water spilled out completely. Ari stared at the empty bucket. His face turned red. "Oh no!" he said loudly. "Now I have to go all the way back again. This always happens to me. Why does nothing ever go right?" He felt angry, tired, and disappointed. A short distance away, an old Zen master named Master Lin was sitting quietly under a tree. He had seen everything. Master Lin did not rush. He did not shout. He simply smiled. As Ari walked past him, still upset, Master Lin said gently, "Ari, why are you walking so fast?" Ari replied angrily, "My bucket is empty. I slipped and lost all the water. Now my work is ruined." Master Lin looked at the bucket and said calmly, "But notice something." Ari frowned. "Notice what?" Master Lin pointed to the bucket. "Is it heavy?" he asked. Ari shook his head. "No, it's light." Master Lin smiled and said, "When the bucket is empty, it is lighter to carry." Ari stopped walking. He looked at the bucket again. It really was light. He suddenly noticed something else. Because the bucket was empty, his arms didn't hurt. He wasn't struggling. He could walk slowly. He could see the trees. He could hear the birds. He could feel the breeze. Understanding without big words. Ari looked up at the old master. "You mean it's not all bad?" he asked. Master Lin nodded. "Sometimes," he said, "when we lose something, we also lose its weight." Ari thought quietly. The spilled water had made him angry, but it had also made his walk easier. Nothing magical had happened, just a small change in how he looked at it. Ari turned around and walked back toward the river. But this time, he walked slowly. He noticed a butterfly resting on a leaf. He saw sunlight dancing on the water. He felt calm. For the first time, going back did not feel like punishment. It felt like a peaceful walk. When he reached the river again, he smiled softly and filled the bucket once more. Days passed. One morning, it started raining heavily. Ari was supposed to clean the courtyard. The ground became muddy. His clothes got wet. The broom felt heavy. Ari was about to complain, but then he remembered the bucket. He stopped and asked himself, "What has this made lighter for me?" He realized, because of the rain, the dust was gone. The plants looked fresh. The air smelled clean. He smiled. Another day, Ari dropped his lunch bowl. The food spilled. His heart sank. But he paused. What has this lightened? He asked himself. He realized he could share food with the birds. He could eat later with gratitude. He didn't need to rush. Slowly, Ari stopped getting angry at small problems. He didn't pretend things were perfect. He simply learned to look again. My dear friends, not every problem is a gift. Not every mistake feels good. But often, a delay gives rest. A loss removes pressure. A mistake teaches gently. Life will spill your bucket sometimes. Plans will break. Things will go wrong. Days won't go as expected. But before you feel upset, pause and ask, what has this lightened for me? You may find less weight on your heart and more peace on your path.